In the past 13 years, I've trialed 100 plus credit cards, literally 100. And I paid thousands of dollars in annual fees, unfortunately. But after all that, I have 6 credit cards I'll never cancel. Today, I'll talk about the 6 credit cards I'll never cancel and how these 6 cards cost you less than $50 a month to hold.
I'm Key, a credit card, points and miles enthusiast and travel lover. On my channel, I discuss the mistakes I've made, my future travel goals, and overall credit journey since 2016. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already.
Card number 1 has been discontinued. However, you can still get IHG credit cards from our good friends at JP Morgan Chase. The card in particular that I'm talking about that I'll never ever cancel is the IHG Rewards Club credit card, coming in at $49 annual fee per year. For that fee, you receive the following benefits: a 40,000 IHG Rewards hotel night that you cannot top up, a 10% points rebate anytime you use IHG points on your hotel stays, Platinum Elite status, which is the second highest status with IHG. I'm sure I'm forgetting some things, but of course, you get access to Chase offers, which are always rotating and changing. Now, this is a card I'll never cancel because I love credit cards that give you a rebate anytime you spend points. So that's really the ultimate reason. This card only has a $1,000 credit limit on it right now. And I really don't put too much spend on it unless there is a really, really nice Chase offer. In fact, in 2025, I've put actually $0 on the credit card. And the last time I spent money on this card, it was to claim a Visible by Verizon offer. This card is one that I've had for many, many years at this point. I've stayed at some amazing properties because actually, this card has undergone some changes, but one thing that's remained constant is the ability to have that 10% points rebate. There's fewer and fewer cards on the market that are offering a 10% point rebate. As of late, the most recent card to get rid of a points rebate is actually the Citi Rewards Plus credit card. So as long as this IHG credit card has the 10% points rebate, I'll likely hang on to it forever and never, ever cancel it. Now, with this card, I've gotten to stay at some really cool properties. And I think I've mentioned this before, but my favorite IHG brand is the Kimpton line of hotels, followed by Hotel Indigo. So those are my favorites, and that's typically where you'll see me spending and utilizing my 40,000 IHG Rewards Club night on one of those properties there. Next up, you're definitely going to need a checking account. So why not head over to Pentagon Federal Credit Union to sign up for a checking account? You may also receive a sign-up bonus for the checking account, but nevertheless, just by having a checking account at this credit union, they're going to waive the annual fee on this credit card. Now, this credit card is so nice and so good. I actually not only have one, but I have 2 of them. Card number 2 is the PenFed Pathfinder Rewards credit card. Now, again, for having a checking account, you can see that it's the $95 annual fee that you would pay is actually waived on the credit card. In addition to that, you do receive an elevated points per dollar spend on travel. And again, this is only if you have the checking account over here at PenFed. You'll receive 4 points per dollar on travel, as it states. And travel is pretty broad over here. So it lists out airlines, hotels, car rentals, cruises, ride shares, trains, tolls, bridges, campgrounds, and tourist attractions. This one caught my eye because I haven't seen tourist attractions be lumped into travel in quite some time. But technically, this means botanical gardens, museums, as well as some amusement parks as well. This is anything that codes with MC code 7991. So feel free to look that up if you're not sure exactly what that counts as. So MC 7991. You'll also get $120 of global entry or $85 of pre-TSA credit every 4 years. And My favorite, for a no annual fee credit card, you actually receive a $100 airline incidental credit every single calendar year. I already said this, but this card is so good. I actually have two of them. All right. Card number 3. If you're the type of person that likes to book travel on Expedia, Travelocity, Orbitz, Priceline, or the likes of any of those types of websites, this is a card that you should strongly consider adding to your portfolio. This next card, card number 3, that I'll never cancel. Well, maybe we'll talk about that in a second, but is the $95 annual fee credit card called the Citi Strata Premier Credit Card. Now, again, if you're the type of person that books on Travelocity and things like that, they have what's called the Citi Travel Portal. Anytime you book flights, hotels, rental cars, etc., through that Citi Travel Portal, which acts as some of those travel intermediaries that I named earlier, you'll receive 10 Citi points per dollar that you spend. That's a lot of points that you can gain just from shifting from Expedia.com over to the Citi Travel website. Now, in addition to that, this is actually a card that I use. The other 2 cards that I've mentioned thus far, despite me never canceling them, they see very little spend outside of utilizing them for credits, like I mentioned, the Chase offers or the $100 airline incidental credit. Now, with this card is one that gets a lot of use because, as you can see here, you receive basically 3 points per dollar on just about any and everything you're doing in the month. This is airlines and hotel bookings, restaurants, supermarkets, gas, EV charging for me, and then again, 1 point per dollar on everything else. This is really a solid setup. Now, the points you earn can, of course, be used for cash back. You can hoard them if that's your thing. You could transfer them out to transfer partners, and they actually just recently added in additional transfer partners, or you can donate them to charity. Now, my favorite transfer partners with Citi are JetBlue, Preferred Hotels, and Turkish. And then as of recently, they did roll out a brand new credit card to the market. And with that, they actually allow the ability to transfer to American Airlines. Now, I haven't done this because earlier in the year, I received I call it the Holy Grail card, right? You have one purchase, you get 60,000 American Airlines miles. So I haven't had the need to transfer over to American yet, but I imagine it's something that I'll potentially use in the future. Keep in mind, for short haul American Airlines flights, you may want to consider the Avios program instead of the American Airlines rewards program. Now, I mentioned that I won't cancel this credit card, but I have a little asterisk on that because this is a card that I'm eligible for every 48 months. And at the end of this month, August 2025, I'll actually be eligible for the sign-up bonus on this credit card again. So what I'm thinking is, from a strategic standpoint, is perhaps what I'll do is first product change my credit card, maybe into a I forget all the Citi cards now. They just all went under a overhaul, but maybe a custom cash or perhaps the Citi Costco card. And then I'll reapply for the Citi Strata Premier Net New. So that way I can go ahead and claim, let me see what the current bonus is again, 60,000 Citi thank you points after I spend $4,000 in 3 months. So that's my plan. So despite me never canceling it, I'm eligible for a brand new card. So I'm going to see if I can make that happen here. For me, Citi usually pulls my Experian report, and this is where I have quite a few inquiries, but I'll keep you updated as that time comes for me to reapply for it. Okay, this next card is another one where I typically do very little spending on the credit card. This one I'll never cancel, mostly because it just has sentimental value to me. This was the bank that gave me my first ever shot with utilizing credit cards and trying to understand how credit cards, rewards programs, points and miles would ultimately be a huge part of my life. So shout out to Capital One for this. But I will actually never, ever cancel my $0 Capital One Quicksilver credit card. I won't even pull it up on the screen because I'm not sure what the earnings are. I don't use it really at all outside of once per year. I pay for my parents' AAA membership. just to keep the card active. And of course, sorry, parents, but you definitely pay me back every single year. So I appreciate y'all for that. Yeah, that's really it. The Capital One Quicksilver. They have a special place in my heart. I've done quite a few videos talking about my experience with Capital One. So check out one of those. Now, I know I just talked about the City Strata Premier credit card and my strategy with that card going forward. What I forgot to mention is that this is a card that when people say, what's a great card that I only want one credit card, what would you recommend? If that type of person doesn't mind paying an annual fee, I mentioned that card does have a $95 annual fee. That's a card that I always will recommend to people. Now, there's a second group of that, right? Where if people don't like paying annual fees and they ask me, what's the one card I should get? This next card, card number 4, that I'll never cancel. Sorry, I can't count. Card number 5 that I'll never ever cancel is the Wells Fargo autograph card, which comes in at a $0 annual fee. All right. So for a literal goose egg, this is the card I would recommend to people that haven't yet experienced paying an annual fee or just have zero interest in paying an annual fee. Now, this card is similar to the City Strata Premier credit card in the sense that it does offer 3 points per dollars on a lot of common month-to-month charges that you're already probably spending money on. But in this scenario, let's go over them in detail because these are all for a $0 annual fee credit card. You get 3 points per dollar on restaurants, including takeout, dining, etc., delivery, travel, which is airfare, hotels, car rentals, and cruises, gas and EV charging, transit, which I love this, parking, tolls, subways, Uber, Lyft, etc. And then these last two are also personal favorites of mine. Streaming services, I'm probably spending way too much in this category, but I do love earning 3 points per dollar on my streaming services. And then last but not least is cell phone plans and landline providers. 1 point per dollar on everything else. Now, the reason why I'll actually never ever cancel this credit card is because you receive cell phone insurance with a $25 deductible. I know some of my friends and probably some of my family members who pay $20-ish per month to things like AT&T, Verizon, etc., to have protection on their phone. With this card, all you have to do is pay your monthly credit card bill with the credit card, and you receive that cell phone protection. So what that means is you drop your phone, the screen cracks, you're out of pocket paying $25 to get your screen fixed. They will reimburse you up to $600 for damages of your cell phone. Again, why are you paying $20+ a month to your cell phone provider when all you have to do is get this $0 annual fee card? It makes no sense to me, but I'll let you do what you do. Another thing about the Wells Fargo autograph card is that there are transfer partners as well. Some people will say that that program is not as strong as some of the other transferable currencies, but I personally use my Wells Fargo Go Rewards points to transfer them out to places like Choice for their Choice Experiences packages. So this is a card, again, I'll never, ever cancel. Woo! We made it. Card number 6. Do you have any guesses? I'm curious. While you're taking a guess and dropping what you think this last card is in the comments, just know so far we've paid $150 in annual fees to hold on to these cards that I've talked about thus far. So I mentioned you're going to have to pay $50 a month to keep these credit cards, and I won't delay here. This next card is also by our friends at JP Morgan Chase. This is the Chase Ritz-Carlton credit card, coming in at a $450 annual fee. Now, similar to the PenFed Pathfinder Rewards credit card, this card I find so good. I have 2 of. This is another card. So more than half of the cards on this list, I don't put any regular spending on them. As I mentioned already, this one is no different. I do love the ability to prepay $450 of an annual fee in order to unlock a $300 travel credit and access into an 85,000 point night certificate that I can actually spend up to on a property that costs 100,000 points per night, because you can add 15,000 points to that certificate. Now, I've stayed at some really amazing properties. In the Marriott brand, my favorite is the Autograph collection. Excuse me, I can't talk today. But also the St. Regis, the W. These are all hotels that I really, really enjoy staying at. Now, this card is not available for a direct sign up. And yes, you have to jump through hoops by signing up for another Marriott card that's offered by Chase, waiting 24 months before, or excuse me, waiting 12 months before you product change into this credit card. A lot of folks have said this card is definitely going to be next on the chopping block for a, changes and overhaul and things like that. For me, I've had this card for a number of years and I'm going to keep getting the rewards, and I'm never going to cancel this card as long as it's in its current condition. What I love about this card is that it causes me zero credit card fatigue. What I mean by that, I don't have to check my spreadsheet that I've created. I created a video earlier in January talking about my spreadsheet on tracking all of these credits and things like that. I don't need that at all for this credit card. Once a month, or excuse me, every year, I know that I'm getting my hotel certificate night. And also with that, I pretty much blow through my $300 airline incidental credit at the beginning of the year. Again, this is a calendar year credit. So I love that as well. Now, in addition to that, my good friend Anthony Venture says this card comes with a PP, which is a priority pass card. And with this, you get unlimited guests into the lounges that are with that priority pass program. I love it. There's absolutely no hoops to jump through like all of these other credit cards where there's monthly, weekly, quarterly, semi-annually credits. There's none of that with the Chase Ritz-Carlton credit card. So for that reason, this rounds out card number 6 in the cards that I'll never, ever cancel. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I look forward to hearing your comments about which cards you'll never cancel in your collection. Thanks. Bye for now.